Hey, what's going on, everybody? We are live for Mindset Monday. And today we're going to talk a little bit about rejection. A lot of people, when they view rejection, see rejection, they view it as a negative, right? When people that have built things, that have achieved anything, they know it's just part of the game, right? It's the same word, two different outlooks, right? The guy that's winning and building, he understands that he's going to hit, you know, 10, 20 rejections for every one thing he's trying to accomplish, right? He's just getting them out of the way. The guy that hears, three or four rejections and stops, those are the guys that typically don't win, right? Now, there is a difference, right? You want to learn something from each no, you want to learn something from each misstep, right? So the person that can learn and craft and tailor and go rejection to rejection, learning a little bit along the way, that's the guy that's going to win ultimately, right? That's the guy that's going to win. You know, it. I read it. I forgot where I read it, but it said something along the lines of, you know, winners see a lot more no's or hear a lot more no's than losers ever do, right? That's because they just don't stop and they continue to try to crush their goal no matter what, right? Dave, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, baseball is always a good example to this. All right. You look at Hall of Fame hitters, and most Hall of Fame hitters they bat 300. Well, what does 300 really mean, right? 300 is 30%. So you're hitting 30% out of the time. So for every 10 pitches or every 10 at bats you get, you're getting on base 3 out of 10 times. And in the grand scheme of things, if you really look at a number, that doesn't sound so great, right? Like just on paper. But if you look at it, from a Hall of Fame perspective, hey, you're going in, you bat 250, you're 5% down, you're not getting in. I mean,
Yeah.
you look at baseball over the course of somebody's really long career. There's longevity in baseball. That 5% over 10 years, that's a very big number. That's a very big spread on that. That could be almost 1,000 hits if you think about that. So guys, like there's a long game in this. There's a process or a book. I think there's a book out there called Going for No, right? I think the title's kind of silly, like, hey, go for no. Hey, tell me no so I can move on. That's kind of silly, right? But the concept behind it is, hey, you're gonna get more no's than yeses, and you got to keep going. It's a law of averages. Um, the hip hop head in me, right? Like Lil Wayne has this line, men lie, women lie, but numbers never lie. Numbers and no's, right? So if you're going for a large scale of numbers, you're going to get no more often than not. And you have to fall in love and be okay with that process. It doesn't feel good at first. Nobody likes being told no. But after a while, like you said before, learning from that, acquiring skills from that, how do you get better from each no? And you progress from there.
Yeah. Now, guys, just personally, right? If you look at how many finance companies I've owned over the last almost 20 years, okay? Something that most people wouldn't even think about. All right. This is from personal experience, though. One, two, three. So I have had over the last 20 years part or full ownership of five finance companies. Okay. And out of those five, three have hit seven figures. One one folded early and one is still early in the game. It's actually seven figures. So call it 4 out of 5. Okay. Out of those four, I only still own two. Right. I rebranded two of them. One I left, and then another one I rebranded. So I've had three opportunities that I've folded to get to where I am today. Okay. And so think about anything you guys have tried to do. Have you failed at something or done it that many times? I have, right? And this is my current iteration today, which is going stronger. Why? Because I've learned each stop along the way. I learned from a bunch of different experiences. right? And it made me a better operator. It made me a better leader. It made me understand running companies at a much higher level, right? So that's 3 different failures to get to where I am today, right? And so it just proves out the model. I mean, Dave, what about you? Where are you at in that cycle?
Yeah, I mean, we're year 6 here, right? And I think we talked about this last Monday when we were talking about, I mean, longevity, right? It's a perfect talk about that. Like everybody always overestimates what they can do in a year, and they don't understand what they could do in a decade or 20 years or 30 years, right? It's a long man's game. There's in business and in entrepreneurship, that's a forever game. It's that you get better as time goes on. You learn more, you create more relationships, your skill set goes up to where I know we like to correlate a lot to sports, but there's a shelf life on that. There's a limited there's a diminishing return in athletics. The older you get, the more your performance is going to go down. And that's guaranteed. Like if you're LeBron or if you're Tom Brady, I mean, yeah, 40, right? Like you get 40, there's still not many people. That wall's limited there, but they're not going to play until their 50s, and that's it. So then what do you do for the next 30, 40, 50 years of your life? So you have a long road ahead. Like your story's perfect, right? You have 6 companies, right? You got out of there, rebranded a few, and now you're onto your main road, right? And then you have some other things in the pipeline.
Yeah.
I mean, that's everything. This is a constant journey. You're going up the ladder. What's the next rung? What's the next rung? What's the next thing? So that this is why when you're dealing with no's, okay, well, I got 30 days in, I got 300 no's and no yes, like I'm out. This shit doesn't work.
Yeah.
You can't look at it from that lens.
No.
Long man game.
Never. And always learn from each no, each rejection. All right. That's a big part of it. Some people don't, right? You got to change it up a little bit between and just take note of what worked, what doesn't, what gets you closer to a yes. All right. I hope this helped you guys. We'll catch you on Financial Fitness Friday. Take care. Have a great week.
Be great, y'all.